Right, good evening, everyone. This night is going to be a very special night. Of course, Friday Night with Wild. It's just unimaginable. Like, oh my goodness me. Zird is with me tonight. Zird is known for being the caller of RTK, and if you've been here around for around like 3 to 4 years, then you definitely know that he is a really, really big legend on the EU server. And he led RTK during the 2018 Mobile Masters, and he also led RTK in the 2018 Twister and 2019 Spring, where they finished third, if I remember correctly, and then
Yeah.
2019 Twister, where unfortunately they couldn't get into the top four, but then some really amazing games happening here and there, and then 2020 helping Vale in the top 8 as well. So welcome, Zed.
Thank you a lot. Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
And hopefully let's start off. Okay, I have three main topics to talk about actually, and hopefully, people who are watching this, you can just ask Zerd questions from time to time, which I'll deliver it to you. And well, let's start off with your past call experience, shall we? So, what do you think are your best moments as a caller back in the R2K and maybe even other clans?
I mean, honestly, the most logical thing is when we qualified for Mobile Masters. Like, when we qualified after winning the spring season,
Right.
we didn't even know there was an offline
Oh,
until like 2 days after we had won, I think. So that was really big
Yeah.
because we won the tournament not knowing that there was actually something to follow up,
That's
and we got informed after we had won.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really, really great surprise that, knowing that you have qualified to the Mobile Masters. Although it's not organized by Wargaming on behalf of it, I think it was Amazon, but then still very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
big
it was Amazon.
event. Yeah, it was a very big event, and you guys managed to qualify to the finals. Although, like, we don't want to talk too much about that game, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind discussing it. I'm beyond the point of that. I mean, I did partly lose us the finals, but it wasn't only me. I mean, I did blame myself for it, but if you check the games, there's a lot of reasons behind it.
I know. Yes. If you don't know about, someone asked about Mobile Masters. Yes, it was an offline event back in the 2018. I think it was held in Seattle. It's like the smaller scale of the Twister Cup, but then it wasn't organized by Wargaming. It was Amazon inviting a lot of game companies to showcase mobile games, mobile esports, and so on. And World of Tanks Blitz happened to be one of them. And then that was the only spring season offline for this game. So
Actually, there has been spring season offline on NA, for NA only, in Las Vegas in 2017. There were 4 North American teams, but yeah, that was the only international one, so to speak.
I see. Well, do you have any other best moments apart from the Mobile Masters? I'm sure you have a lot of good moments.
I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of good things. Like, obviously, when I started off, the first major tournament I played with RTK and led them, that was the 2018 spring season. And I had this long-term rivalry with Legion and Thomas in particular as a leader, because me and Thomas, back then at least, were recognized as the 2 best leaders on EU, and that was such a big rivalry. There was, a lot of trash talk, but not like that much personal. It was more like all sports. There's always that in rivalries.
The rivalries, derbies. Well, at one point it's just getting the excitement up, and then just
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it makes the game more spicy, so to say. And when we beat Legion there, I mean that was the best thing for me in this game.
Yes.
By far. It was such a joy, because Legion had also been the dominating team. 2016, 2017, Legion had won everything,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And it felt so good. It felt so good to be the team knocking them off the throne.
That's true. Right, yeah, I don't know. It says my stream has some minor issues. Let me try to kind of read it and see if it's going to be better. Because YouTube setting up, and then let's see if it's going to be any better. Don't know what's happening. Maybe a lot of people using this Wi-Fi at once, and then my bitrate is so slow. Just wait for me a bit.
Alright, no worries.
Right. Okay, so let's continue. So, apart from that, let's talk about the toughest job being the caller. What do you think would be the toughest role being the caller of your team?
I mean, do you mean like what's the toughest thing about calling, or?
Toughest, yeah, you can say the toughest thing about calling as well.
I mean, I just say like you have a lot of responsibility on you, you know.
Yeah.
If you lose a game because of a bad strategy, you know people are going to blame you.
Yeah.
You know, people look at the whole picture rather than individual mistakes very often.
Yeah.
And usually at the outcome, like if you lose a tournament, it's usually the caller that's going to take the blame. And it's not only about me, you know. I also know experiences from other teams, and I've seen other teams. You know, they lose the game and they'll tell me something like, "Yeah, this person made a terrible call."
Yeah.
For example. Like it, and you also have the responsibility because usually the caller is the one that brings the team together. You usually organize trainings and you set everything up for tournaments. You make strats, or most of the time the caller is the one making strats as well. So like you dedicate a lot of time to the game. You dedicate way more than the players often. I mean, not every team is like that, but many teams are.
Right. That's true, and yeah, I mean, I was a caller before as well. I do know the responsibility of being a caller, and like it's like the first thing you do is like to take the blame when it's not working, and then I don't know, but like usually it's easy to blame on the caller, and then the individual mistakes is like a little bit not that covered. But then I think the other issue with being caller is that you have a lot of pressure, like wanting to know whether your strategies works and then whether that your call is going to be a good one, and then like everyone is depending on you, like everyone's depending whether on your call and stuff like that, and then
Yeah, exactly. And you also need to look at everything. You know, as a player, you also need to have overview of the game, and you need to look at your teammates. Like, just follow general movement of other players to make a good team. But like, as a caller, you always need to micromanage players, or not always, but a lot of times. You know,
Yeah,
like move to this position, move to this position, go back, go forward, etc. Like, you lose a lot of the skill you have, I'd say, at least. And I know other people says that as well. Like, I've spoken a lot with Whoops, and he also says that calling makes him play a bit worse individually, you know, because he cannot focus as much on his own moves in the game because he needs to focus on micromanaging the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's true though. Sorry, I was just a bit distracted because people been complaining about stream quality. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take down the stream and I'm going to start a new one with worse settings so that it's going to do something. So if you don't mind me being a bit behind the scenes for a few minutes, then we can continue. Sorry about that.
Alright, no worries.